A lone B-29 was over Hiroshima.
The use of weapons of mass destruction has left permanent scars on many lives, and the memories still haunt the victims. Several of these bombings stand out from the rest. The atomic bombings of the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki by the US at the end of World War II is one of these. These bombings in August of 1945 are the only times nuclear weapons were dropped on civilian populations to date. Over 200,000 people were killed in the two bombings, and those who survived lived with the effects of radiation poisoning. Based on victims' accounts, at the time, nurses knew little on how to treat these victims, and many were left to die. Hiroshima still marks this day every year, and a group of Iranians also attend the ceremony. People who share one thing in common, and that's being victims of WMDs. And how does this relate to Iran? Iran has been a victim to over 350 chemical attacks by Iraq, and over 1 million Iranians have been exposed to chemical agents. During the imposed war of Iraq on Iran in the 1980s, Saddam Hussein, then ruler of Iraq, used non-conventional weapons against Iranians and at times against its own Kurdish population. About 100,000 Iranians were direct victims of Iraq's chemical attacks. Many were hit by mustard gas. About 8,500 Iranian soldiers died following the attacks, but thousands still battle with problems they incurred following these chemical bombings, dreaming of one night's rest.
The effects of chemical weapons continue forever. My eyes now are from a 25-year-old. My lungs have been damaged and my body destroyed. I dream of a night's good rest. My coughs don't let me sleep.
Over the years, the victims of chemical attacks in Iran have went to Japanese doctors for help. Many continue to go back and forth seeking treatment from a country that has experienced this tragedy once. Still, few people know about the Iranian victims of chemical weapons. To remember these people, Iranian actors and writers have joined hands with these victims to bring their suffering to picture, and also to remind the nation of those who braved their lives.
I think that we can have an important effect. The language of art can make people understand something more clearly than preaching it. When somebody like me travels to Hiroshima, the first person it affects is me. And there I saw how thousands of people gather every year on the day of the bombing to give a message of peace to the world.
Today in Iran, 5,000 victims of chemical attacks seek treatment regularly, and some 1,000 are still hospitalized with severe chronic conditions. According to Iraqi documents, blueprints from an American company, Falder in 1975, allowed the Iraqis to build a chemical warfare plant, and the plant itself was mainly purchased from then West and East Germany. The war is not over till there are victims suffering from it. That's what one of the victims told me, as many of the 1 million affected started feeling the symptoms of chemical attacks decades later. Pedram Khadadi, Press TV, Tehran.